little different look. I didn't quite have that look. I had kind of more gear on, and I didn't weigh, 4,000 pounds. This guy's like about 12 feet tall.
They called them labors. Ha!
There you go.
That was good. That was really good.
Yeah.
Kevin Sorbo was obviously an easy choice because he's Hercules, but not necessarily in terms of the way that he's played Hercules in the past, a little bit of a departure.
Can we get, but this time, brother,
Yeah, more intense.
seething?
But this time, brother, this time I will destroy you.
That's good.
In this game, he's a much darker brute. He's not the brightest light bulb out there, but at the same time, when it comes to war, he's brilliant.
The direction is more pissed.
Okay.
As pissed as you can get.
The most valuable I can be is to take what the creator of the game has been imagining and seeing on paper for a long time and bringing it to life with the voice, and trying to find different ways to get to actors to achieve what he wants to do. Try one thing, if you would, Kevin.
Yeah.
Take the breath after stables, and then you can finish off the phrase.
Okay.
The most frustrating thing about doing voiceover is the amount of time you've got to do each line. You've got to repeat it, but you've got to also do it in so many different ways, so many different inflections, and you end up losing your voice.
Have you not killed enough of your family?
That's a good.
Good. That's very good.
It was a slam dunk. He really brought a passion to the character. He was very professional. His voice was kind of running out. That's when he gave some of his best stuff.
Fantastic.
Beautiful.
Fantastic.
Thank you. It wasn't the same Hercules, not even close to it. So it was a darker and more sinister person and a more evil person to deal with and play. But from my standpoint, it was a lot of fun.
It's the way to start.
New day of recording. Very excited about it. Today we're doing Rip Torn and Malcolm McDowell.
The game's based on Greek mythology. This guy's like the Smith god, and he's like...
Always the Vulcan.
Yes, exactly.
The Roman name for Hephaestus is Vulcan. He's the god of fire, and he's a great blacksmith. The greatest thing you have on stage is the other actor.
I don't get extra pay for this.
Thank you. They are entertainment, and they are movies, and you can get involved in it. It kind of gives you a semblance of what live theater used to be when you had audience participation. Yeah, I kind of look like that.
Ghost of Sparta, it is you. Well. I thought Zeus would have killed you by now.
Daedalus.
Oh, and what does he do?
He's the inventor. He also created the labyrinth.
Labyrinth? Oh, wow.
And where is the golf course?
It's really cool. Eat lunch with Malcolm McDowell. I can't beat that.
The ice storm, that will give me the power to bring my son back to me. Where is my boy?
That's awesome.
Bastards!
That was awesome.
We need one for coverage, but that was
We want to
incredible.
protect it with one more, please.
Oh, we're not gonna go protecting all these takes, are we?
Yeah,
Don't
we
tell
are.
me we're gonna do 2 fucking takes. Why don't you just use a bit of proper tape? Why do we have to do 2 takes of everything?
Well, because we
Not for protection.
Yeah,
Oh, come on.
Let's listen to it.
That's
Let's listen to it.
nonsense.
and we're going to listen to one line, be right with you.
Okay. You don't mind, right? Because it's really, if I'm in a jag and it's going, it's going.
I hear you. Could we do the line to escape it, please,
Yes.
one more time?
Tell me what you need.
The word catalyst had a little bit of a squirtle to it,
Okay?
okay? When you're ready?
Okay. To escape it, we must assemble it.
Actors are so varied and so different in the way they work, and to find what that key in there is and unlock that door with them and then be able to play is really a challenge and a kick at the same time.
He said that if I took the liquid fire and the sling, oh my boy, oh my child.
You know, I
That's
actually
great.
like that. That's different than what we thought.
Terrific, thank you.
I like it.
Vengeance on the king of gods. You'll need an army of gods. And weapons. Of course, weapons. I could build. I could use the fire of Hades. Wait, please. Please wait. Free me. Free me from my torture.
We're good. We're good.
Thank you, Spot. Thanks, Spartan. I say, thanks so much.
Cheers, good sir.
I say squatta.
We're not used to people coming in here and nailing it so, like, basically knocking it out of the park like this. So
Oh, really?
you had more time, so.
Well, no, okay. Well, listen, I just thought, oh my God, I thought I had reams and reams and I had to do everything twice. It was like, oh my God, if you've got it, you've got it, right?
Right. Yeah, we got some great stuff.
Great.
It's fantastic.
Terrific.
Good.
Thank you.
And see,
My pleasure. To work with Malcolm McDowell and Rip Torn in the same day.
Same day, yeah.
Pretty wild experience.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to me, too, the different acting styles, because Malcolm McDowell is very much the Royal Shakespeare Company, and it comes in, you know, word for word like that. And Rip Torn is more of the old actor's studio, and he's a little bit up and down and nowhere, but out of that comes a gold of its own kind.
There's an extra level of dimension and texture that we got to them that's just through the fact that they're fucking good actors.
now that we've gotten the recording part of it down, my stress level has decreased a great deal.
Now you can have a glass of wine.
Now I can have a glass of wine.
You are the reason I live in torment.
He told me he would kill you.
He can't. Perhaps he did allow me to kill the Nemean lion, but he made your name known amongst the people. A fierce warrior, a killer made a hero, a man made a god.
But you, what have you done with my child? My boy, where is my boy?
Your son is dead, Davis.
Boy, my child, no, no, no!
We're not quite artists, close, but not quite. You know, some of us have artistic skills, but we're not quite programmers either. Although we do write code, right? Once again, not so much this guy.
And tech art helps make the stuff, and we help people use the stuff.
Because without us, nothing would get done. There's a huge gap between the engineering guys or the coders and just regular artists. So we kind of bridge that gap.
Artists don't understand binary. When a programmer comes over and he's like 00101, just goes one ear in one ear and out the other, right?
Yeah, they think it's a phone number or something.
We have to invent things ourselves and come across certain lines that nobody has crossed before.
We're good at it, though, right? Right here.
We're pretty good at it.
Yeah.
We've done so many crazy stuff in the past that there's nothing that surprises us anymore.
The artists were having trouble just building things. And their levels, the environment guys just built huge, gigantic levels. Bigger than this guy. Yes. And the levels themselves, they just get really big, and they'd only be working on a small section of it, just a little portion. And I wrote a tool that lets them pick which parts they want to use and export just that as a level. And to get that, they just came to me with a problem.
They wanted to exaggerate Kratos and the torture that he does to his enemies. So we came up with a system called the zipper tech, where basically the animator would use controls to open up wherever the cut is on the character. The character artists would model out wherever the cut will take place, and we'll put the rig on top of that. So here we have the Centaur rig and the zipper tech. The Centaur's guts are going to be opened up. And so basically the animator would go in and create the CS move. You can go in and individually select these controls and open and close his gut. Here we have the guts for the Centaur. They're going to be part of the props. The animator will go in and animate these guts spilling out of the Centaur. And so the guts will be placed in and around here. And to further sell the point, we've got separate controls over here in the middle where you can actually pull out the insides. From God of War 2 to God of War 3, we've used dynamic simulation more and more to do more secondary animations on the characters, whereas before on the previous games, the hair would be stiff or the cloth would be stiff. They would be kind of modeled into the creatures. Now we're actually adding motion to those pieces, so you will see hair kind of moving, you'll see cloth kind of moving.
Towards the end of the previous game, I, in collaboration with Jason Minters, had created this dynamic system that uses the Maya hair system to drive a series of joints. So as you can see, each of the snakes on her head are independently moving. The animator did not have to individually pose all of these animations, but they have control over the physics so that they can get it to get into a pose that they want, but still when the character moves around, you'll see how the snakes will flow backwards. When she goes forwards, it responds to movement, so it improves a lot of the workflow for the animators. It's pretty rewarding to see as characters go from our department through the rest of the pipeline and then come back and actually see it in the game.
So what I received here is a model of Kratos. What I'm doing is adding the wrinkle in his facial expressions. It's being driven by the actual joints in his skeleton. So as you can see, as I lower the joints, his wrinkles go away, and just like a real human, as the joints move up, the wrinkles start to show up on his face. That's some of the new technology that we're putting into the characters and Kratos. Here I have another example. If I lower his shoulder, you can see veins start popping out and striations start popping out on his shoulder. So not only are we putting this technology into his face, but it's also going to be in his body. In the beginning, Yuri kind of got a little freaked out when he got the project because, it was one of those things where it was like, okay, you need to work on this thing, this crazy tail rig that will do everything that we need to get done in this game. There's 4 of us on the team, and we all kind of took a stab at it. And, it was kind of an iterative thing, but Yuri definitely solved the problem.
What we see here is the battle between Kratos and Medusa, and Medusa's trying to constrict Kratos. The idea the rig can do dependent and independent motions. It can rotate one section at a time. I can move one control at a time. So now, for example, here, I'm affecting this part of the rig, and I'm also affecting controls that are right next to it. Things are stretching, and things stay in place or not.
I think the key to it is that it's, for an animator, it's very easy to use. We can use it on many types of different creatures, tails, ropes, hair.
In God of War 2, there was a creature Kraken, and that thing had huge tentacles. And Matty, he was lead animator and game lead animator back then. He animated it, and he complained a lot. And after he saw this rig, and after he saw what guys were doing with Medusa, every time I walk by him, he just thanks me for making this thing.
We're kind of the bridge between the ideas that Stig and the designers come up with and different 3D departments. We help visualize it on paper, painting it up, drawing it up in 2D, and then they take that and actually make the assets for the game.
You have to come up with cool design with limited time. The design also has to make sense to art director, game director, the lead artist. So it's definitely fun, but it's stressful.
What's usually given to us is a quick description and then sometimes a write-up on whatever that creature or character has to do. their function in game, and there's always sort of a highlight on special abilities or things that we need to focus on.
There's only 4 concept artists.
I'm Max Ankar, the senior effects artist, and working on God of War 3. This is my new helper or friend. Hold on. Let's restart that. I speak in clicks. Okay, wait, hold on. Ready? This is my partner, Jesse, Cheese Whiz. That's all I can say. I'm working on God of War 3 here, making the greatest effects. Got a partner now, Jesse. He's awesome. It's gonna be great having some help on God of War 3. And yeah, cool.
I looked on the internet and find out all these different movie special effects, kind of duplicated what they did. We filmed the blood and the idea that maybe we could use some of it for textures.
This is gonna be like a spray. Instead of the last one just leaking out, this one should spray like kind of like more like an artery. Whoop.
Oh, that's pretty great. Yeah. Well, we found out the simplest one was just like kind of like a water bottle filled up with movie blood. And that kind of gave them almost best squirting effect out of all the blood.
I think we got some good blood today. I know my partner here, Jesse, sacrificed a lot to help out. He donated the blood for us, and I'm really glad we had Jesse here to help us out.
He's sweet.
Yeah, Jesse's really, sorry. Jesse, watch out, okay? Thank you.
We used a couple little parts of it right here. This is the film blood. You got a series of images that you rendered out. You put those on the polygonal cards, and that's what you're throwing out of the particle system, basically, or splatting on the ground. That's kind of what's going around in the game, is the little blood splatters when Kratos gets hit or enemies get hit.
El fin de mi venganza.
Hermanos míos, fuimos forjados en la victoria. Una victoria que acabó con la Gran Guerra y que fue el inicio del reinado del Monte Olimpo. Nacido de las entrañas del inframundo. Surgido del río de las almas. Nuestro monte emergió del profundo caos. Y según crecía, fue creciendo el poder de los olímpicos. Nosotros creamos un mundo de paz, un mundo de prosperidad. Un mundo que vive a la sombra y al abrigo de mi monte. Un monte que se ha convertido en la medida absoluta de la fuerza y del poder. Hoy, ese poder va a ser puesto a prueba. El mortal Kratos pretende destruir todo cuanto he conseguido. Hermanos, dejad de lado las absurdas disputas que nos han dividido durante tanto tiempo. Vamos a estar unidos. Y vamos a permanecer juntos. Y yo me ocuparé de exterminar a esta plaga. El Olimpo vivirá siempre.
Tu hijo ha regresado y trae consigo la destrucción del Olimpo. ¡Los titanes volverán a sucumbir!
¿Acaso me desafías, mortal? ¿A un dios del Olimpo?
Un guerrero de verdad no se esconde, Poseidón. ¡Sal del agua y ven a luchar!
Has faltado al respeto a los dioses por última vez, Kratos. Arrasaré con todo a mi paso.
¡Kratos! ¡Salta a mi mano!
¡Por la grandeza del Olimpo! Todo el Olimpo se une contra ti.
Zeus mostró demasiada benevolencia contigo. Da lo mismo cuántos dioses acaben cayendo, porque siempre aparecerá otro dios que se enfrentará a ti.
Todos acabarán cayendo.
La muerte del Olimpo nos traerá la muerte a todos.
Entonces prepárate para morir, Poseidón.
Kratos, la muerte de Zeus está cerca. Súbete a mi mano.
¿Pero qué vas a hacer, padre? No puedes seguir escondiéndote tras las faldas de Atenea.
Atenea ha muerto por toda esa rabia que te consume, Kratos. ¿Qué más quieres destruir?
Las zarpas de la muerte no me vencieron. Las hermanas del destino no me retuvieron. Y tú no verás el final de este día, porque hoy voy a vengarme.
Eres un impertinente. No voy a seguir tolerando tus insolencias.
¡Gaia! ¡No podré resistir mucho más tiempo!
Si te ayudo, caeremos los dos. Zeus vuelve a ganar.
¡Por destruir a Zeus! ¡Fue por lo que me salvaste de morir!
Yo te salvé para servir a los titanes.
¡Permíteme que cumpla mi venganza!
Escucha atentamente, Kratos. Tú eras un simple peón, nada más. Tú no debes preocuparte por Zeus. Esta es nuestra guerra, no la tuya.
¡Gaia! vivido como un guerrero. He muerto como un dios. He sufrido el peor de los sacrificios. Y he sido condenado. Yo venceré al Olimpo. Cumpliré mi venganza. No hemos terminado, Zeus. Las puertas del Hades nunca me han retenido.
La muerte no es ningún obstáculo para el decidido, Kratos.
¿Atenia?
Te he echado de menos, espartano.
Yo no...
Al sacrificarme por el dios Zeus, ascendí a un plano mucho más elevado.
Aún pareces pertenecer al Olimpo.
Las apariencias a veces engañan, Kratos.
Como los hijos del Olimpo.
Tal vez. Pero recuerda, mi muerte la produjo tu espada.
Mi espada buscaba a Zeus. Sé rápida con tus palabras.
Mientras hablamos, la guerra por el Olimpo sigue adelante y hace sufrir al hombre.
¡Que sufran! La muerte de Zeus es lo único que importa.
Zeus no caerá tan rápido como Ares. Para destronar al rey de los dioses, es preciso que busques la fuente de su fuerza. La llama del Olimpo.
Una vez te sacrificaste para salvar a Zeus y ahora deseas destruirlo. ¿A qué es debido este cambio?
He visto verdades donde antes no las veía. Quizá esto te haga recobrar la conciencia. Estas son las espadas del exilio. Te servirán de guía durante la búsqueda de la llama. Recuérdalo, mientras Zeus siga reinando, no habrá esperanza para el ser humano. Apaga la llama, Kratos, y los cimientos que sostienen el Olimpo caerán.